frequency synthetic aperture sonar, which a picture of it, which you can see close up on the top left. But it also had a forward look sonar. It had an electro-optic sensor on it. And this tow body itself towed another tow body, which had a magnetometer. Itself was 10 or 15 feet long. So you can imagine, you know, very, very complicated to launch and to recover, but a wonderful platform for testing out and refining the technology. And the success of this system really convinced the Navy to invest more in synthetic aperture sonar and move it towards transition. And again, you know, some of the pioneers of the 1990s, some of them are shown here. I'll think of names like of Gary Sammelman, John Lathrop, Jose Fernandez, Kerry Commander. They were all part of this effort to refine this synthetic aperture sonar technology. And so we get to the 2000s, and Panama City is the first to integrate a synthetic aperture sonar onto an unmanned undersea vehicle. That was done around 2002. And that success led to a family of systems called the Small Synthetic Aperture Minehunter of the different generations that you can see on the right. And that technology itself transitioned into our surface warfare fleet. So in a very, very successful progression of developments in this technology. And I will just mention, you know, of course, our collaborators did a lot too. You can see on the bottom left, there were techniques that we call autofocusing to take care of any kind of residual errors in the sound speed structure that we didn't know about. That way we could just work with the data and, in a sense, make the data work, right? Think of it as an early AI technique. To make the data work and focus the image without even having to know what the sound speed structure is. There were advances in motion estimation and compensation. We had advances in fast algorithms to compensate for the fact that our computers weren't fast back then, but now our computers have gotten faster too, right? So that we have lots of options on how we do the SAS processing. And then there were advances in the sonar technology and the components themselves, you know, that our partners actually developed. And so all of this together got us to the point of where we are in transitioning this technology. And I thought here we'd just look at a few sample images that we get with this type of technology. I show the high frequency on the right and the exact same survey, exact same bit of seafloor on the left imaged with the low frequency part of that dual band system. And believe it or not, that's the same real estate. The high frequency, as you can see, gives you these crisp, kind of high resolution images of the interface of the ocean floor. And the lower frequency, we call it mid-frequency there, actually penetrates into the bottom. So you see a lattice-like geological structure. So we're looking below the surface with this. Exactly, and it's you can see that it's really quite different. But if you train your eyes, you'll see that there are a couple of potholes which appear in both images, and you look at that and you can convince yourself that that is the same piece of real estate. Now on the insets on the right